Hello, hello, everyone, and welcome to our May webinar with Yoodli. We are so excited that you're taking time to join us for our From Product Release to Rep Ready webinar. As we have people joining, I would love for you all to jump into the Q&A and tell us where you're calling in from, where you're joining us from. We are super excited to get started. I have a full team here to present to you one of our favorite topics as we jump into instant enablement. We'll really be diving into how enablement can keep up with accelerating product releases. Um, we all know as the onset of AI has come about, product teams are shipping faster than ever. And our sales and marketing and customer facing teams are having to learn fast and be enabled faster and faster. And so our Yoodli team is here to help solve that problem for you all and also introduce Yoodli. So we have some people, I see some familiar faces, but we also have some new people to Yoodli. So with that, as we have more and more joining, we can go ahead and get started. I'm going to run through just a couple reminders, and then we'll be able to jump into a live demo and panel with our team. All right, so we can get started here. Just a few housekeeping items. We do have chat turned off, but really just interacting with all of you through our Q&A. If you have a question at any time, drop it in the Q&A. We'll cover that as we are live, bringing that to our team, answer it live. If we don't get to your question, we will be sending that out afterwards as well as the recording. So if you're joining late, if you have team members who want to watch and you see something interesting to share with them, we'll share the recording out afterwards, as well as the Q&A, and then any links in the deck to be able to use and take with your team. So with that, since we only have half an hour, and because we're all short on time, we're going to get started. Hello, all. I am Betsy McKibbin, Head of Marketing here at Yoodli. Like I said, I'm very, very excited for this topic today, one of my favorite topics that we get to talk about here at Yoodli. I also have joining me Tom Craven from our sales team. He's an enterprise sales leader. And then Jaimin Gandhi, who is our VP of Product here at Yoodli. And so you can kind of see we're representing all three angles of our team when we think about launching to our customers and speaking externally. We work very closely together from the product that's getting built and getting shipped to our team within marketing as we're developing messaging and then enabling our sales team to be able to talk and speak with all of you. That's really what we're going to be diving in today is how three of our three teams are working so closely together and to be able to be instantly enabled. So with that, we'll jump forward and walk through a quick agenda for you. Don't want to spend too much time because we don't have a ton. But what we'll walk through is really the gap that we're seeing across our customers, across our team, and how we're solving that gap internally here at Yoodli to be able to release to all of you. And so you've heard me use this term instant enablement, but we'll talk through exactly what is instant enablement and how it helps bridge that gap from onboarding to hopefully not too much offboarding, but in the middle, what we're calling everboarding. And so how can instant enablement help during that time of everboarding and constantly changing messaging, product, and how do we all keep up? And so we'll walk through that and how Yoodli is using Yoodli to solve for this problem, and then that live demo. So we'll get started as we jump in. And like I said, we see a lot of familiar faces here on the call, but there are some that have maybe are not as familiar with Yoodli. So a quick intro, we are Yoodli. We are an AI-powered experiential learning platform, and we're providing that learning through an immersive Yoodli tutor. So we're able to have a tutor powered by AI, be able to work with your teams, whether it's teaching a topic, walking through a concept, and then immediately your team can then practice through our Yoodli role plays, all within the same session, receive continuous coaching, and then have all the analytics to be able to see that performance and outcomes performing on real calls or real interactions with customers. And then as we head forward, just a quick look at that of what we're calling our learning loop. And that is here at Yoodli. Here on the next slide, it'll show you our learn, practice, do. And so what I just mentioned, whether it's through learning using our AI tutor, in our example, you'll see an AI Betsy. So our team is learning from an AI Betsy, talking about new messaging, talking about new campaigns that we're rolling out. They're able to then quickly turn around and practice that with AI Betsy. Hey, did Did I understand that messaging framework correctly? I'm going to practice it and then take that and be able to do that on a real call and have it immediately come back into Udly. So our team is constantly running through the learn, practice, do our team and customers are spending a lot of time being able to use the tutor to learn, practice through role plays, and then do what they have been learning on real live calls. And then lastly, just to cover that we work with some of the largest companies in the world. Here on the next slide, you'll see that are using experiential learning to be able to practice and learn, whether that's launching a pitch certification for 15,000 at Google Cloud, or even as small teams as five. We're really working with almost 1 million users on Udly being able to practice and use role plays. So without spending too much on this time on this topic, we're going to jump into why we're here, and that is to discuss instant enablement. So I'm super excited to jump in and introduce instant enablement and how we're using that at Udly. Before we do that, I would love to hear from you all, and I'm going to launch a quick poll, and you can see it on the next slide because we really just want to hear from you. When you're typically launching a new feature or an update, how long is that taking for your reps to be able to talk about it with their customers? Is it happening within the same week, 2 to 3 weeks, a month or more, or you're realizing that they do tend to figure it out on calls? And when I say reps, that could be, your customer support, your customer success managers, any of those customer facing roles. How quickly are they able to speak about these product updates? All right, I see some answers coming in. This is great. Thank you all. And then just as we see a few more coming in, I think this is something we were seeing. We're here at Udly, we are shipping twice a week. And when we say ship, the releases in the product, updates, and as well on top of that, new messaging from our team, new campaigns, new topics to talk about. With all of that going on, it has been tough to be able to stay on top of what we're supposed to talk, where you're supposed to find thing, what's getting launched in product. And so that is why we were able to build and create instant enablement. So I'm going to end the poll and got some great results, and you'll be able to see this very soon. Yeah, so you should be able to see it. We're really kind of staying in that 2 to 3 weeks or a month or more range. And that's really what we were expecting to, and what we're hearing from other customers is it does take a while to take all of the new information and then be able to learn, practice, and then do it on real calls. So what that is what we're here to help solve is to get all of those numbers into the same week to be able to listen, hear, learn, and then be able to do that within just a few days. So with that, I'm actually going to hand it off. I'm going to stop sharing, and then we're going to talk about how we're going to help solve this for you all. So with that, I'm going to actually hand it over to you, Tom, as he joins us from our sales team to hear your perspective with your team and your sales rep, what you're seeing and experiencing.
Sure. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Happy to walk through this. Much of what we'll share here is a result of being a previous go-to-market associate, leading go-to-market associates, as well as working with a lot of our B2B customers. And so the problem that exists is product ships fast, but it can be really hard to keep up with how quickly product is shipping in terms of enabling your go-to-market associates. And so you'll see here on the slide, there's a couple of areas that we like to think about as terms of these specific things. And so what we've observed, not only here at Yoodli, but with our customers and our experiences, is that reps walk into customer calls without knowing exactly what changed. In addition to that, we also hear that enablement teams can spend weeks building content that's already outdated. And so when we think about the world of AI and how quickly product updates are happening, it can be really difficult for enablement teams to continue to keep up with the ever-changing speed in which we're moving. And then lastly, there's usually a lack of manager visibility into who's actually prepared. And so a lot of these things kind of define the problem that we experience with pertaining to instant enablement. And so if your release cadence is weekly, but your training cadence is monthly, the math just doesn't work out. And so with that, we want to talk about the cost of this gap. And so there's a couple of different areas and ways that this shows up. And so what you could experience as reps or go-to-market associates find out about new features from customers and not necessarily internal training. Marketing ships a launch, but sellers tell a different story in the field. And so how do we ensure go-to-market associates are telling the same story that we would like them to share? Third, managers oftentimes focus on completion and not necessarily coaching performance. And then fourth, the time to readiness for new releases stretches in 2 weeks. And so the result of this is every release creates a temporary hole in your team's readiness. And so with that, I want to hand it over to Jaimin, who's going to walk you through how this works.
Hey everyone, Jaimin here, VP of Product. We took this problem that existed and heard from a lot of our customers and decided to put Yoodli to use. What we do is quite simple. One, as soon as a release ships, we have employed AI to gather all the context about that release, whether it's from Slack, GitHub, your content management system, your CRM. All of those systems are queried and AI pulls the right context about that release. Once that context is gathered, we generate training inside Yoodli automatically and create a Yoodli tutoring session with a clear role play with minimal intervention. And I'll actually go through and walk you what that process looks like in less than 10 minutes. Once the training is generated, we send it out to our reps. Reps receive Slack notifications saying there's a training assigned to them. They need to complete it. And for the most part, training occurs in less than 10 minutes. Reps complete, get full context of everything we have shipped on that day or that week. And then managers get to see the results. What are the completion results and performance reports? How many reps performed the training well, and so on. That makes us and our reps ever ready to talk about new features that we release. Betsy mentioned we ship twice a week. We're moving towards shipping every day. And in such a world, only a product like Yoodli Instant Enablement can help bridge the gap. We have seen our reps talk about features we shipped less than a day ago, and they are able to confidently narrate the journey, the story to customers, even demo them. Here's what we do currently. Every Monday, the entire GTM team gets a 10-minute session that covers exactly what shipped last week. Sometime around mid of the week, the reps get a reference message. Essentially, before customer calls, what do I need to talk about? They practice that. And by Friday, managers get reports of who has completed, what the performance report looks like, and has everyone gotten the messaging correctly. So with that, I'm not going to waste time. Let's get to live demo. Is everyone excited? By the way, as an Easter egg, I'm going to show a feature that has not yet been spoken about. So this is the first time you will see this feature live in action. Stay tuned for that. Right. Betsy, if you can confirm, you can see the screen.
You're good. All set.
Perfect. Very, very familiar looking Yoodli admin screen. I'm an admin trying to create a role play. Let's together create a role play about a feature we launched last week. It's called Yoodli Navigation and Tagging Updates. So I'm going to do that live during this call, and hopefully after this meeting, I'll be sending it to our GTM reps live. Starting with a role play creation process, I would go to role play and click on create a new role play. You'll see we have added a section called everboarding. What this means is we would like our reps, our GTM team, to continue to onboard forever because we keep releasing features continuously. They should be onboarding on those features continuously. I'm going to use the template and click customize. This is going to give me a I'm going to click this link. It's a help article link. I'll refer to it a little bit later, but I'll come back to it. Click confirm, and that creates a Yoodli role play for me. Let's quickly customize. I know I want my reps to know about tagging feature, what that looks like. So I'm going to quickly add a name here. It could be any name. I'm going to skip description. The context, as you see, is actually pre-filled for all of you. The template comes pre-filled with the context. You don't have to worry about creating it all. The next most important section is how would this AI tutor know what to talk about? What is tagging? And for that, I'm expected to upload a reference material. Now, to solve for this, what we do is I'll actually switch uh, to AI tool that we frequently use. It's Claude or ChatGPT. I'm going to give a demo of both. Depending on what your organization uses. By the way, it shouldn't be just limited to Claude or ChatGPT. It could be Copilot or Gemini or any tool that your organization has employed across your company. That is the AI-centric tool. I'm going to start with ChatGPT. We have created a custom GPT that will create that file automatically for me without me having to do anything. I'm going to say create an everboarding document for feature, tags, and navigation. We'll wait for this GPT to complete, but I'll show you behind the scenes what happens. So if I go to my settings, uh, the org version of GPT has been given access to all the core apps. The current version of ChatGPT has access to our GitHub. It can browse through source code, figure out anything that changed in terms of code. It can browse emails, CMS, Drive, and so on. So it's going to collect context from all of those artifacts and create this document. If you are working with Claude, Betsy, can everyone see the Claude screen? Just want to confirm.
We're still on your ChatGPT.
Okay, let me stop sharing and reshare because it's a desktop app, so it would not be registered as a browser. One second.
Yeah. As you're pulling that up, I can attest to, the days of our marketing team being used to having to create messaging briefs, product briefs, pulling that all in and then delivering it to a GTM org, are gone. It's now we still have these, but now we're able to connect them with Claude, with ChatGPT, create those context docs to give to an AI tutor. So it's also saving steps on our side as well. But there, now we can see your Claude, Jaimin.
Yeah, perfect. So again, with the Claude, I'm going to invoke a skill called, there we go, Everboarding Reference Generator. Create a document for roleplay navigation and tags. That's about it. Like ChatGPT, Claude is connected to our instance and it has access to all of the capabilities, which means it has access to GitHub, it has access to Google Drive, my meeting notes, Slack, everything else. So with that context, both ChatGPT or Claude will be able to come up with a very, very detailed documentation about everything that changed. Now to save time, I ran exact same query before, so I'm going to open that and show what that looks like. This was a version I gave before to ChatGPT about roleplay navigation and tags. And here's an elaborate document that ChatGPT produced. I'm going to export that document so I can quickly glance through it and make sure everything is correct, and then give it to Yoodli. So here's the exported version of the document. It's simple copy paste from ChatGPT, and it has all the details about that release, what went in. Many of those things are aspects which are quite detailed, so AI tutors able to refer to those and answer questions very comfortably. I would convert that into a PDF file and upload it to Yoodli. So once I've uploaded that file to Yoodli, here's how the file would look like. Again, it's very simple. Click Add Files and select the file I just uploaded and click Done. Once the AI tutor has access to those files, the next thing is what material would AI tutor present to the end user? Typically, if I were to drive an onboarding meeting personally, I would be showing a deck to my audience. I would be telling them what the feature is about and walking them through slides. So what we did was we actually added ability for AI tutor to actually show slides to the end user. How did the slides come into existence? Up until today morning, the slides were manually created either by me or Betsy, and Betsy can attest it was a process. The cool new feature that's going live very soon this week, you would not have to do this. All you would need to do is to click add a visual content. Let me show. Uh, you need to add visual content, and then you can create a file or deck automatically using cards, a feature that's going to be going live later this week. So every single slide, the animations, the content was generated by AI looking at the source document that was given to it. Of course, if I'm not happy with certain lines, I can go edit text here. I can add an image by saying, I want to add an image to visual content, and the slides would be updated. Once I have the slides and the content ready, I'm practically all set. All I do is hit save, and my role play is ready to be practiced. So let's practice it together. Let's see what was made by Yoodli. And Betsy, let me know if we can hear the AI sound. If not, I might have to again stop sharing. Actually, I will do that 1 second.
Hey, Jaimin, thanks for joining. We've got a short enablement session lined up on some updates we rolled out last month around
Let me pause. Can you hear AI sound?
We're good.
Okay, cool.
roleplay navigation and tagging. I want to walk you through 5 key changes that are going to help you in customer conversations, especially when folks are dealing with growing roleplay libraries. Should take about 15 minutes. Ready to dive in?
Yeah, let's dive in, John.
I'm here and ready when you are.
I'm ready. Let's get started.
Perfect. So today we're looking at a set of updates that came out around roleplay navigation and tagging. The big picture is simple. As customers build larger roleplay libraries, learners get lost in one long mixed list. These updates solve that problem by giving learners a dedicated place to find practice and giving admins better tools to organize content. We're going to cover 5 things. A new roleplay.
I'm not going to go through the whole presentation, but the goal was to make sure everyone of you got what a live creation of an instant enablement looks like. Of course, this is just the beginning. Expect to have a lot more features, a lot more richer cards coming into play by next week. Uh,
Awesome. So exciting, Jaimin. Thanks for diving into that. And like I mentioned, I think I say in the old days, like 6 months ago, where we were creating all these decks and docs and scheduling, monthly update enablement meetings. Now it's done and in their Slack on Monday morning, and then able to see, okay, who's doing these? What are they getting? We can add a quiz question at the end. And so then it also, updates, but then says, okay, now how do you use this with the team? Or when is the next marketing instant enablement webinar? And so we're able to quiz and then get immediate feedback from the team as well. The one other note before we jump into Q&A, there's so many good questions in the Q&A, so we'll get to those right after this. But want to touch on there's so many use cases that could use instant enablement, not just how we are at Yoodli with our GTM org and with our sales reps. Yes, we are a fast shipping product org. And so then where the release cycles are fast, you're able to enable your teams, but also multi-product GTM orgs are able to use this and quickly be able to make it specific and customized to each team each week. We also see it within partner enablement. So then if you are working with partner teams and you constantly want to update your partners on what's new, whether it's messaging or available products, being able to ship out these instant enablement for your partners. And then I mentioned the visibility for managers and many, many more use cases. So with that, what I'm actually going to do, Jamie, if you want to go to the next slide, we do have a Q&A time, and we're down to 5 minutes. We promised the 30 minutes time. I'm going to pull up some questions. There was a couple that I think would be good to talk about, and it was more about any access to either a template of the GPT instructions or how we can help enable customers. And I will note one of the next, after this is to get in touch with your CSM to be able to also help and enable you all. But the first question really around would it be possible to get any templates of the GPT custom GPT?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yep. Absolutely. Yes. We have actually pre-crafted, handcrafted, tested exhaustively, custom GPT or Claude skill. So both of those would be available to you. It's on our support page. All you do is refer the very step-by-step instructions of how to get your org set up with these. And you can download custom GPT instructions or a Claude skill directly. Would highly
Great question.
recommend you try it out. There might be some tweaking because every org has a different configuration slightly. So I would definitely recommend testing and tweaking certain things, but for the most part, it should work flawlessly.
Awesome. Next question we have, does it use a dedicated persona or do you have to create a new one each time? And then what's a preset? If you do a time length, is it preset to a certain time or can you adjust those settings as
Great
well?
question. So we have created a persona that works best for this particular case, and that would come by default. The moment you apply template, you will get the persona, and the template would suggest time limit. It's currently set to 10 minutes. Of course, you can change both of those if you wanted to.
Yes, and then we've customized it to have AI Betsy, AI Jaimin be able to present these as well. So obviously on your end, customizing it to what you all would need. And let's see what else. When will it be available to enterprise clients? And Jaimin, I'll let you take that one.
Yes, you will hear about the official release later this week. There is templates on instant enablement. There's a lot more other templates. Again, I'm probably going to spill the beans here, but I'm going to show a quick preview. This is not the only template. We are actually building a lot more templates that would be available for all of you to use. So if I go to create role play, click on tool training, you would also be getting this templates later this week that would let you release training to entire team. If you want your entire team to train on Claude, for example, simply choose this template, click customize, and this template would let you launch a training where AI tutor would actually coach your team how to use Claude and so on. So it's going to be live later this week.
We have time for a couple more questions. One asked about also connecting using MCP connector as well.
Yes, we have tested MCP connector. Yoodli does offer MCP connector, and if you haven't been using, definitely give it a try. In our best test cases, what we've observed is MCP is really good for very specific scenarios. I have an upcoming meeting in the next hour. I want to practice a role play. You could ask Claude to create a practice role play in Yoodli, and MCP works, does magic, and gives you exact role play that you could use with the right personas and meeting agenda. But where MCP does not work is when the context window is very large and you really need to produce in-depth documents. And hence we adopted the skills or custom GPT approach. As this area matures, definitely we have it in mind. What would a connector look like? How do we pull data and get much more richer context? It's work in progress in that.
Awesome. All right. Well, we are reaching the end. There are a few questions that we still have. Like I mentioned, we'll answer those. We'll send those out as the follow-up email sent to you all. Jamie, if you want to pull the slides up real quick, one last slide if you still have that.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, and then I also wanted to give a shout out. If you do join these webinars, you get access to new features that haven't come out yet, or at least seeing them live. So it was fun to see the tool training templates, instant enablement templates. And so happy to share that with you all. Yeah, so let's stay in touch. If you want to join more webinars, there is a QR code that you can scan there. If you do want to get in touch with our team, we would love to chat with you, show this at a deeper level. If you are a current customer, reach out to your CSM. We have a Slack community, help articles, all of that to help support you as we release rich features just like this. And then if you want to connect with us, of course, all the social channels as well. So thank you again for everyone joining. So excited to share this with you all. And then we will chat with you soon. All right, we'll see ya.